You have been standing in the skincare aisle at Boots, staring at a serum that promises you the results of retinol without any of the irritation. And you have thought to yourself, this sounds perfect. No redness, no peeling, no sensitivity, and still the same wrinkle-fighting, collagen-boosting, age-reversing power. You bought it. Maybe you have been using it for months. Maybe it sits in your bathroom cabinet right now, and every morning you press it into your skin and wait for the transformation the label promised you. Here is what nobody in that aisle told you. Most of what is marketed as a retinol alternative in the United Kingdom does absolutely nothing for fine lines and wrinkles. Not a little something, nothing. Dermatologists have known this for years, and the beauty industry has been counting on you not knowing it. Today, we are going to fix that. We are going to go through 8 products sold on British shelves right now. Products your favourite brands are pushing hard, products your favourite influencers have recommended, and we are going to tell you exactly what is inside them and exactly why the anti-aging claims are, at best, dramatically overstated and, at worst, a complete fabrication designed to take your money. Before we get there, let me be clear about one thing. Retinol is not perfect. Real retinol, actual vitamin A derivatives, cause genuine irritation in many people. Redness, peeling, sensitivity to sunlight, an adjustment period that can take weeks. For older skin, for sensitive skin, for anyone pregnant or breastfeeding, retinol presents real challenges. The idea of a gentler alternative that delivers similar results is not a stupid idea. It is a completely understandable thing to want. The problem is what the beauty industry did with that desire. Instead of developing genuinely effective alternatives, brands spotted a marketing opportunity and ran with it. They slapped the words retinol alternative on bottles of moisturizer, diluted serums, and skincare products that had been sitting on their production lines for years, changed the packaging, tripled the price, and watched the money pour in. And you, standing in that aisle, believed them. Because why would you not? These are trusted brands. These are household names. Stay with us until the end, because we are also going to tell you what actually works. 2 brands selling real retinol at genuine concentrations, available right now in the UK, at prices that will make you furious about what you have been spending on the alternatives. But first, let us count down all 8 offenders. At number 8, we begin with Garnier Skin Naturals Bakuchiol Glow Serum. This one is everywhere. Boots stocks it, Superdrug stocks it. The packaging is gorgeous, that soft green botanical aesthetic. And the word bakuchiol is printed large across the front, as though bakuchiol alone is a guarantee of results. Bakuchiol is an ingredient derived from the seeds of the bakuchiol plant. And yes, there is some clinical data suggesting it can activate similar cellular pathways to retinol. A 2019 study published in the British Journal of Dermatology showed modest improvements in wrinkles and pigmentation from bakuchiol use. The key word there is modest, and there is a crucial detail buried in that study that brands never mention. The bakuchiol group applied their product twice daily, while the retinol group applied theirs only once. So even in the most favourable clinical comparison bakuchiol has ever received, it needed to be used at double the frequency to match retinol's effect at half the dose. That is, before we get to the real problem with Garnier's version, which is concentration. For bakuchiol to deliver the results seen in clinical studies, you need it at around 1% of the total formula. The study used 0.5% applied twice daily. Garnier does not disclose the concentration of bakuchiol in this serum. When a company has genuinely effective amounts of an active ingredient, they shout it from the rooftops. When they go quiet on the numbers, it usually means the concentration is too low to matter. Squirt some of this serum onto your palm and smell it. What hits you first is fragrance. a pleasant botanical scent engineered to make you feel like you are doing something luxurious. That fragrance is a data point. High-performance active serums do not lead with scent. They lead with results. For a woman in her 50s who has spent years protecting her skin and is now looking for serious intervention against fine lines, Garnier bakuchiol is offering her the aesthetic of a treatment without the treatment itself. At number 7, we have Sanctuary Spa Bakuchiol Facial Oil. Sanctuary Spa is one of the most trusted names in British high street beauty. The brand feels quintessentially British, the kind of thing your mum kept on her dressing table. And that legacy of trust is doing enormous work here because this oil does not deserve the confidence consumers place in it. Open the bottle and you are hit with one of the most intensely fragranced skincare products currently on British shelves. The scent is beautiful. It genuinely is. But fragrance components, particularly at this concentration, are documented skin irritants. There is profound irony in a retinol alternative marketed partly to sensitive skin users that contains enough fragrance to cause its own reactions. When you look at the ingredient list and track where bakuchiol appears in the formula hierarchy, you will find it listed well past the halfway point, which tells you it is present at a low percentage, almost certainly below the threshold at which dermatologists consider it clinically active. You are paying for the Sanctuary Spa brand, for the beautiful amber glass bottle, for the luxurious sensory experience of application. None of those things are going to reduce your wrinkles. At number 6, we look at Superdrug Naturally Radiant Bakuchiol Illuminating Drops. Superdrug's own brand range deserves credit for making skincare accessible at lower price points, and at under £10, these drops are among the more affordable products on this list. But affordability does not excuse misleading marketing, and the Naturally Radiant Bakuchiol drops mislead in a way that is actually quite clever. The word illuminating is doing enormous work on that label. Illuminating and anti-aging are not the same thing. Illuminating means the product will make your skin look brighter, more radiant, more awake. It might well do that. Grapeseed oil and vitamin C derivatives can absolutely create a glow effect. But the product sits in the retinol alternative category in store and is sold alongside products making explicit anti-wrinkle claims. When bakuchiol appears this far down an ingredient list at this price point, it is a marketing garnish, not an active treatment. A woman browsing Superdrug who picks this up, believing she is addressing her fine lines, is being misled by proximity and implication, even if the small print technically avoids making the specific claim outright. At number 5, we examine Simple Kind to Skin Booster Serum with niacinamide. Here is where it gets complicated, because niacinamide is actually a legitimate skincare ingredient. Niacinamide, also known as vitamin B3, has solid clinical evidence for improving skin barrier function, reducing redness, and addressing hyperpigmentation. Dermatologists genuinely recommend it. The problem is what Simple is claiming niacinamide can do, because the brand positions this product within anti-aging conversations and alongside retinol alternatives in a way that dramatically overstates niacinamide's role in wrinkle reduction. Niacinamide does not stimulate collagen production in the way retinol does. It does not accelerate cell turnover. It does not resurface the skin. These are the mechanisms that actually address the structural changes in aging skin that create wrinkles. What niacinamide does do, it does well, but selling a skin barrier support ingredient as equivalent to retinol for wrinkle treatment is like selling paracetamol as an alternative to surgery, because both address discomfort. Technically related, practically not the same thing. Simple has been capitalizing on niacinamide's legitimate reputation to make implied anti-aging claims it cannot substantiate. At number 4, and this one is going to sting for a lot of people, we have number 7, Future Renew Serum. Number 7 is boots. For millions of British women, Number 7 is the default definition of science-backed skincare at a sensible price. The brand launched Future Renew in April 2023 with extraordinary fanfare. One product was selling every 2 seconds on launch day, according to Boots' own data. 500,000 transactions in the first 4 weeks. The marketing talked about a world-first peptide technology. The packaging is sleek and clinical. The price point sits around £35, which signals serious efficacy to a consumer primed to believe that price reflects quality. So what is actually inside? The active ingredient system in Future Renew is a proprietary peptide blend, and peptides are a genuinely interesting skincare category. Short chains of amino acids can signal the skin to produce more collagen. There is real science here. The problem is that the bar for evidence in the cosmetics industry is dramatically lower than in medicine, and No7 has published no independent clinical trials. The studies referenced in their marketing are company commissioned. They use No7's own methodologies, tested on No7's chosen subjects, and evaluated by No7's own standards. When independent dermatologists have assessed what peptides can actually achieve in a cosmetic serum versus what retinol at 0.5 to 1% achieves, the gap is significant. Retinol works through mechanisms that are deeply understood and extensively documented in independent peer-reviewed literature going back decades. The Future Renew peptide technology has none of that independent verification. Boots sold millions of pounds worth of this product on a wave of hype, influencer partnerships, and the unassailable trust the No7 brand has built over many years. If you are one of the hundreds of thousands of women who bought Future Renew expecting retinol-level results, you paid £35 for a moisturiser with a marketing team. At number 3, we turn to Olay Regenerist Collagen Peptide 24 Serum. Collagen is one of the most emotionally resonant words in beauty marketing right now. It is the scaffolding that holds skin firm and gradually weakens from our mid-30s onwards. When Olay puts the word collagen on the front of a serum, they are speaking directly to the fear that drives billions in skincare spending every year. They are also being deeply misleading, and dermatologists have been saying so for years. The scientific problem with topical collagen is not subtle. Collagen molecules are too large to penetrate the skin's outer barrier. When you apply a collagen serum to your face, the collagen sits on top of the skin. It cannot get through. It cannot reach the dermis where it would need to be to have any structural impact. This is mainstream dermatology. The skin barrier exists precisely to keep large molecules out. Olay has access to dermatologists. Olay knows this. They formulate the collagen peptide 24 serum with niacinamide and amino acids alongside the collagen, and those components do have evidence of their own benefits. But the product is named for collagen, marketed on collagen's reputation, and sold at a price that reflects collagen's cultural status as an anti-aging essential. A woman in Birmingham who picks this up because she is worried about collagen loss is not being told the foundational truth that would most help her. She is being sold an emotion. At number 2, we examine L'Oréal Paris Revitalift 1.5% pure hyaluronic acid serum. This product is interesting because hyaluronic acid is one of the few ingredients in this entire conversation that is not overhyped. Hyaluronic acid is a genuine humectant. It draws moisture to the skin and can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water. As a hydrating ingredient, it has solid evidence and real effect. Well-hydrated skin looks plumper, more rested, and temporarily less lined. That last word is important. Temporarily. When you stop applying hyaluronic acid, the effect stops. There is no cumulative structural change happening in the dermis. No new collagen is being produced. No cell turnover is being accelerated. The skin is not being resurfaced. And yet, L'Oréal sells this product with imagery and language that positions it squarely in the anti-aging intervention category. The model on the packaging looks 30 years younger than the target consumer. The word Revitalift has been doing heavy lifting in implying youth restoration for over 2 decades. At 1.5% hyaluronic acid, this is a good moisturizing serum. It will improve the appearance of dehydrated skin. It is not a retinol alternative, and it never could be, because hyaluronic acid does not share a single mechanism of action with retinol. L'Oréal is selling you hydration in an anti-aging costume, and at the price point they charge, that is a meaningful deception. At number 1, the product that encapsulates everything wrong with the retinol alternative market in one elegant bottle, we have Dove Derma Series Facial Serum. Dove built its reputation on something genuinely admirable. The brand pushed back against unrealistic beauty standards at a time when the beauty industry was making women feel terrible about themselves. That legacy of trust, that sense of Dove as the honest brand, the brand that actually cares about you, is now being weaponized in the most clinical sense of that word. The Derma Series Facial Serum is positioned as a sensitive, skin-friendly approach to skin renewal. It contains ceramides, niacinamide, and a blend of moisture-supporting ingredients. Ceramides are excellent. They restore and maintain the skin barrier. Niacinamide is useful, as we have already discussed. What Dove Derma Series does not contain is any ingredient with clinical evidence for the kind of anti-aging results the overall branding implies. There is no retinol. There is no retinoid. There is no bakuchiol at a meaningful concentration. There is no ingredient class that has been shown in independent research to reduce wrinkles through the mechanisms retinol uses. What there is a well-formulated moisturizer sold under the halo of Dove's reputation for honesty, positioned on shelves between products making serious anti-aging claims, priced to signal efficacy, and marketed to the exact demographic, older British women with skin concerns who most need accurate information to make good decisions. The Dove Derma Series Facial Serum is not bad skincare. It will moisturize your skin. What it will not do is anything the retinol alternative category implies. And Dove knows the difference. Subscribe to this channel right now, because understanding what is in your products before you buy them is not vanity. It is protection. And the companies putting these products on shelves are counting on you not doing it. Now, let us talk about what actually works. Go check your bathroom cabinet right now. If you have any of the 8 products we just discussed, you do not necessarily need to throw them away. Some of them are decent moisturizers. But stop expecting them to do what retinol does, because they cannot. Here is what can. The first product that belongs in your skincare routine, if you want real anti-aging results without a prescription, is the ordinary retinol 0.5% in squalane, sold at Boots, on boots.com, at ASOS, and through their own UK stores. The price is around £8, not $35, not $40. £8 for actual retinol at a clinically meaningful concentration. The Ordinary is the brand that demolished the beauty industry's pricing mythology by proving that effective actives do not need luxury packaging to work. What they do need is the right ingredient at the right percentage. 0.5% retinol is a concentration well within the range that dermatologists consider effective for reducing fine lines and supporting collagen production through genuine cellular mechanisms. The squalane base is lightweight and appropriate for most skin types. The Ordinary publishes their full ingredient lists, discloses concentrations, and does not make claims that outpace their evidence. If your skin has not used retinol before, start slowly, 2 or 3 nights a week, always followed by a good moisturizer, always with SPF the following morning. Give it 12 weeks and compare. That is the difference between real skincare and the beautiful nothing you have been buying. The second product that deserves your trust and your money is Paula's Choice 1% Retinol Treatment. Available in the UK through their website and through Net-a-Porter and John Lewis at around £40. Higher than the Ordinary, but still cheaper than several of the alternatives we expose today. 1% retinol is at the top of what over-the-counter products can legally offer in the UK. Paula's Choice has built their entire brand philosophy around one principle. No ingredient makes it into a formula unless there is solid, peer-reviewed evidence for its function at that concentration. No fragrance, no marketing ingredients, no moisturiser dressed in anti-aging language. Paula Begoun began her career investigating what the beauty industry was doing to consumers and writing about it clearly and honestly. The 1% retinol treatment comes in opaque packaging specifically because retinol degrades when exposed to light and air. The fact that they have thought about that tells you everything about the difference between a brand committed to making their actives work and a brand committed to making their packaging look good on an Instagram flat lay. For anyone in the UK who can tolerate retinol, this is the gold standard of what you can buy without a prescription. A woman in Manchester told us she had spent nearly £400 over 2 years on retinol alternatives before a dermatologist appointment changed everything. The dermatologist looked at her cabinet of botanical serums and asked one question: does any of this contain actual retinol? When she said no, the dermatologist wrote down 2 products. Both cost less than anything she had been buying. Within 3 months, her skin had changed more than it had in 2 years of diligent alternative use. She was not unusual, she was the rule. The British beauty market generated billions last year. A growing portion comes from retinol alternatives, a category that barely existed 10 years ago and has been engineered by the industry's recognition that retinol's benefits are real and its side effects can be used as a lever to sell alternatives that carry none of the side effects because they carry none of the activity. The Advertising Standards Authority and the Committee of Advertising Practice have strict rules. Claims must be substantiated. Consumers must not be misled by implied claims, even when explicit claims are technically avoided. These rules are not being consistently followed in the retinol alternative category. The brands know what they are doing. The profit margins are extraordinary. That is why they keep doing it. What you can do right now is simple. Go to your bathroom, pick up every product you bought because it said retinol alternative, plant retinol, natural retinol, bakuchiol, peptide complex, or collagen serum. Read the ingredient list. If it does not contain retinol, retinaldehyde, or a prescription retinoid like tretinoin, and you are using it specifically for wrinkle reduction and anti-aging skin renewal, it is not doing what you think it is doing. That does not mean you have to throw everything away tonight. Some of these products contain genuinely good moisturizing and skin barrier ingredients that are worth keeping. But stop expecting them to be something they are not. Stop paying anti-aging serum prices for moisturizer. And when you are ready to make the switch to what actually works, pick up the ordinary retinol, 0.5% in squalane from Boots on your next visit. Start slowly. Be patient. SPF every single morning without exception. The results will come. Drop a comment below and tell us which product from this list is sitting in your bathroom right now. And if you have made the switch to actual retinol and seen the difference, we want to hear about that too. This community exists to share the real information the brands do not want you to have. Hit like if this opened your eyes and subscribe so you never miss another one of these. More British beauty exposés are coming. We are just getting started. Thank you for watching. Stay sharp, read every label, and stop paying for nothing dressed up as something.